Okay, so if you're a creative, you know this feeling, right? That little knot that forms in your stomach when it's time to talk about money. Setting prices, sending out invoices. Heck, even just looking at your own bank account can feel like a huge battle. Well, that's a mental block. And today, we're going to take it apart, piece by piece.
Does this sound a little too familiar? Yeah, this is basically the internal monologue for so many creative entrepreneurs. You know deep down you're undercharging, but that fear of scaring off a potential client is just, it's paralyzing. But here's the thing, that fear, it's not a stop sign. It's actually a signpost, and it's pointing you directly to where your biggest growth is just waiting to happen.
All right, let's just get one thing straight right off the bat. This whole pricing panic thing has almost nothing to do with the actual numbers. Seriously, forget the math for a second. This is an emotional problem. It's all tied up in self-doubt, fear, and the stories we keep telling ourselves about our own value.
So how does this panic actually show up in the real world? Well, you might find yourself spiraling, constantly second-guessing your rates. Or maybe you're always over-delivering, throwing in tons of extra work just so you feel like you've actually earned your fee. And that classic excuse, oh, I'm just not a numbers person. Come on, that's not a personality trait. It's a total defense mechanism. All of these are just red flags pointing to something deeper, an issue with your money mindset.
Okay, so let's name the enemy here. We're talking about money mindset blocks. And the absolute key to dismantling them is to figure out which ones you're dealing with. Because once you can put a name to it, you can start to tame it. This is how you really start to take back control. First one up, avoidance. This is the I just want to make cool stuff block. You didn't become a designer or a writer to stare at spreadsheets all day, right? I get it. But this kind of avoidance, it forces your business to live in this constant state of reactive guesswork. You're not feeling, you're just flying completely blind because you don't have a system. And next, of course, the infamous imposter syndrome. Ah, yes. It's that little voice whispering in your ear, I'm not ready to charge more. Not yet. The expert Denise Duffield-Thomas talks about how this is often tied to this deep-seated belief that success has to be earned through struggle. And it just creates this vicious cycle of under-earning while you wait and wait for this feeling of readiness that, spoiler alert, might never actually show up on its own. And this brings us to what is maybe the most critical mindset shift of them all. You have to detach your personal identity from your business's pricing. I'm going to say that again because it's so important. You are not charging what you are worth as a human being. You are charging for the service, for the outcome, and for the experience you provide to your clients. That distinction, it changes everything. And finally, we have the scarcity mindset. This is that fear-based belief that nobody is going to pay those prices, especially in this economy. But you know what? A lot of the time, you're just projecting your own financial anxieties onto your potential clients. You're assuming they think about money the exact same way you do. And that leads to fear-based discounting, which is pretty much a surefire way to teach your clients that your work isn't worth what you're asking. Okay, we've diagnosed the problem. Now let's talk about the solution. And it all pivots on this one thing, the confidence factor. And here's the wild part. You can dramatically shift your income without changing a single thing about what you deliver, just by changing how you present its value. Alex Hormozy absolutely nailed it when he said this. Price is a reflection of perceived value, not your cost. Just let that sink in for a second. You could be the best in the entire world at what you do, but if you sound apologetic when you say your price, that perceived value just plummets. Your confidence is part of the product. Now, look at this. What's so interesting here is seeing the difference from the client's perspective. The unsure provider sounds apologetic, they kind of fumble the money talk. It just feels amateur, you know? But the confident expert, they're certain, they're direct, they're reassuring. That feels premium. It feels trustworthy. Confidence is contagious, and it's what makes a client trust you with their money. So, the big question, how do we actually fix this? Let's get super practical. This is your action plan for making these shifts happen, like starting today. We're moving from just talking about it to actually doing something about it. Okay, step 1, get systematic. You have to treat your business like a business, not a hobby. That means separate bank accounts, knowing your actual numbers, because clarity is the ultimate antidote to anxiety. That's what gives you control. Step 2, get objective. Take your feelings out of your fees. This is a business transaction, not a test of your self-worth. Remember, you are not the product. This gives you freedom. And finally, step 3, get active.
Like Mel Robbins says, confidence is a result of action, not something you need before you act. You don't think your way to confidence, you act your way into it.
So really, the core message here is pretty simple. Mastering your money mindset isn't about learning some brand new complicated skill. It's really about unlearning the old habits of undercharging and over-delivering. And that is how you build a business that's not just creative, but actually sustainable and profitable for the long haul.
And before we finish, I want to leave you with this. Think of it as a permission slip. You are allowed to run a business that pays you well. You are absolutely allowed to feel safe financially. There's no guilt, no shame in building a creative career that is also profitable.
So I'll just leave you with this one question. What's the one layer you're going to strengthen next? Is it your confidence, your identity as an expert? Maybe it's your systems, or how you're positioning yourself. Don't try to fix everything all at once. Just pick one and start right there.